Islands. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital. Always there for you. Call 949-6066.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
What's on your mind, Cayman? If you're ready to talk, we are ready to listen. Discussing current events and local news, community spotlights, hot topics, listener stories, cultural and historical discussions, environmental issues, fun and lighthearted topics, guest interviews. Cayman, basically anything you want to talk about, we are ready to listen. Here's your host, Charles Glidden.
Coming up, we got the lowdown on Mango Fest 2026, but first, we open the phone line so you can tell us what's on your mind. Talk Today is next on Radio Cayman. Stay with me.
Talk Today is reminding you
to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
And now, back to Talk Today.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Talk Today. I'm Charles Glidden. I'll be with you until 2:30. Thank you for tuning in on this, here in Georgetown, kind of overcast, kind of rainy July afternoon. Later in the show, we'll be talking and hearing all about the upcoming Mango Fest. Seems like a good crop of mangoes this year, huh? But for right now, it's open line. You can join me on the phone. Talk about what you want to talk about. So give me a shout. Numbers to call, 1-800-534-8255. You can also reach the studio on 949-8037, 949-6990, or if you prefer the WhatsApp, 925-3261. Well, I hope everybody's enjoying the World Cup. You know, it's getting hotter now, more interesting, more exciting. So I'm sure the long weekend coming up, a lot of people will be glued to the TV, right? All the sports bars will be full as people watch the games over the weekend. And the Americans went crazy last night, though, with USA going through to the round of 16, beating Bosnia and Herzegovina. They had to play two countries, Bosnia and Herzegovina. And the USA beat both of them 2-0. And, oh boy, the Americans were ecstatic. And what really sweetened them what really sweetened the win for the USA was that they scored their second goal a man down on a beautiful free kick, perfectly executed. Malik Tillman just did a perfect free kick over the wall and into the corner there. He just nailed that thing because, it was nervous going until he sealed the deal there with the, with that free kick, making it 2-0 because they had lost Florin Balogun. Everybody seems like everybody except the ref agree that Balogun should not have been given that red card, which means he's going to miss the next match in the round of 16. So even I could see it was an accident, right? I'm not a football expert or a super fan, or but when they showed the playback, I mean, it was one of those things that happens. No bad intentions, but looking at how the round of 16 is shaping up here. But before we do that, let's see. Interesting match tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Tomorrow at 5 o'clock, Argentina and Capo Verde go at it. Now, wouldn't that be something if Capo Verde beats Argentina? I mean, they've been, pulling off some upsets. This tiny island nation, showing what they're really made of, pulling off some surprises. So might want to mark that one down. Be a good happy hour match to watch. And then Ghana and Colombia go at it at 7:30. So I have to cheer for Ghana for that one, right? That's sort of the motherland for a lot of people. So round of 16. This is how it's looking as of this morning here. Canada and Morocco, Saturday at 12 o'clock. These are all Eastern times, Eastern Standard Times, our time. Canada, Morocco, 12 o'clock, noon. Then at 4 o'clock, France and Paraguay. France is hot. And then at on Sunday at 3 o'clock, Brazil, or as they say down in West Bay, Brazil and Norway will be going at it Sunday at 3 o'clock, and at 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock, we got Mexico against England. Okay, so you can mark that one down too. Sunday, 7 o'clock, and then Monday, USA against Belgium, and that's Monday at 7 o'clock. There's an earlier match, but that hasn't been decided yet. We do have a caller on the line. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today. Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Glidden.
Yes, good afternoon.
Let me turn down my radio here.
Okay.
Mr. Glidden, if you want open line, you want callers to call in, please don't keep us waiting talking about the World Cup. Let us talk first, and then you
Well, you didn't call early enough.
I called through just as soon as you said open line, because I've been sitting here waiting for you to come online. But,
you see, here's the dilemma. Okay, you may be on the line, so the engineer tells me, yeah, you got to call on the line, but you've started something.
Yeah.
If you don't finish it, then it's all disjointed. You got to keep your train of thought going there. So you got to play it by ear. So what's on your mind today? I won't even take the break. I won't even take the break on time, so you can have some time to talk.
Well, I was talking yesterday. Let me tell you this first. Every time I come on the radio, someone runs and tells one of my parents. Every time. And I don't know what to do about that. But
tells who?
One of my parents, and especially on the paternal side, it always seems like I'm on air complaining while I'm simply advocating, right?
Okay.
But I want to say this quickly first about the landlord and tenancies issues. People can go on, if you don't know how to Google, please learn how to Google. Go on to the Law Reform Commission's website on Cayman Islands government, egov.ky. And when you get on the Law Reform Commission's web page, you look for projects. And when you look for projects, you'll see a whole long list of all of the laws that are are presently before the commission, whether recent or past, or how many years or months it's been, and you look under landlord and tenant, and you'll see right there the amendments that the last administration did to the Residential Tenancies 2009 Act. It was done under the last administration. This present administration only has three MPs that are no longer on the sitting government, so 3 MPs that are on the opposition side, but they were still a part of the last administration, so they all know about these amendments, and people can see what the last administration did to modernize the Landlord and Tenancy Residential Tenancies 2009 Act. They can see what the last administration did, and they can start to give some feedback if they want. But the amendments have already been greatly modernized by the last administration. I'm sure they're going to do some touch-ups when they bring it to the Parliament by September. But for the public that simply gets online and makes comments and acts like the Cayman Islands government or the MPs have done nothing in this regard, and they were not in the last administration, this is your opportunity to find that document and read it yourself. It is very plainly written, as many of our Cayman Islands laws are compared to other jurisdictions, so very easy to understand. And I think they did a great job with it. I myself have been advocating for it back. I've been advocating for landlord and tenancy changes from back in 2000. But I myself have been continuously advocating for this, and I think they've done a fantastic job. And I think they want to get it right before they table it for the public and so forth. That's only my personal opinion.
Yeah, but it has to be fair for both sides.
Yes, absolutely. And so I just wanted to let the public know that Law Review Commission of the Cayman Islands, Google that, or egov.ky and put it in the search bar, and then you go into projects and you'll see all the laws that are there that are presently before the commission. So I was getting back to my other topic quickly now. I was saying yesterday that I hope that the government will start to look into of how these sub-meters are being used, and to ensure that tenants are getting the best benefits out of the ability for these for landlords and so forth to utilize these sub-meters, and tenants aren't getting cheated, because there's nowhere presently for tenants to complain. And as I said before, I do believe even with the residential tenancies coming back to Parliament and so forth, there still may have to be something else done in other areas with the utilities to address the usage of these sub-meters. And the Water Authority doesn't want to get involved because it's not their meter, and CUC doesn't want to get involved because it's not their meter, but they're permitting the usage of these meters, and tenants are getting cheated out of water usage by the use of these meters if they're not being read properly. There's no governance to ensure that landlords are operating in a fair way for tenants, and so that's another task I'm putting at hand for the present administration for them. I think when the League Electoral Boundaries Commission is chosen, another task they can take on, I'm sure they will, is to think about introducing another 1 or 2 elected members.
You think we need another 2?
Mr. Glidden, if you read the report and you really know, and I know you probably know more than me because you're in journalism and you hear a lot of behind-the-scenes information, but real and truly, look at Minister J. Most of his ministries kind of go hand in hand, right? But on a separate note, some of those could still go, at least 2 of those could still go in another ministry by themselves. This government, and I would say the last administration too, and just because I've been keeping up with these 2, I believe that they have, I believe that they have did their endeavor best to keep up with modern times by renaming ministries and introducing 1 or 2 or 3 other ministries in order to meet the demand of the country, right? However, some of these ministers, one minister said in Parliament the other day, they have. I don't want to be quoted because I can't remember his exact words, but the gist of what he was saying is that they have so many things to do, that they're trying to prioritize to get to the priority things, and so it's a balance that they're trying to accomplish, right? And some things may be priority. Landlord and tenant is past priority, Mr. Glidden, but so is roads and meeting the needs of the community for cost of living and that sort of thing. So there's a bunch of different things going on, and we know, and I know, and the general public should know, is that one administration can't get everything done in one administration. And then if new people are elected in the next administration, what happens is they try to undo some of what the last administration does, and then they try to do new projects, and so that kind of keeps things swinging back and forth. And a lot of people don't realize that, so they'll say, oh, the last administration didn't do this, and we don't think this administration is going to get it done. But 4 years sounds like a lot, but to me and you, we know that's
it goes quickly.
Right.
Well, when a new government comes in, it takes them a little while just to get their feet on the ground.
Right.
But you're also saying not only add like 2 more representatives, but add a minister or 2?
Yes. I think so. Based on the ministers that we see now, I think there's 3 ministers that have more than 2 or 3 portfolios. Minister Rankin, Minister Ebanks, and I think
Minister Rankin has quite a few too.
Yes, and Minister what's his name there from Kim and Brass again? The gentleman,
Minister DaCosta.
Yes. And I think the premiership in and of itself is in the whole entire ministry and office. So, and I'm surprised that Home Affairs and so forth is not under the premier. But those are just my feedbacks. But I really think they need to look at policing these sub-meters and making sure that tenants are not getting cheated. And Water Authority and CUC needs to take this task on also and get involved and stop pretending, putting blinders on to say, hey, we don't have anything to do with this. We permit it, but it's out of our hands, because they are responsible to making sure tenants are not getting cheated from usage, even though they're making the money off of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think every property that has individual units should have individual water meters and individual, if they're apartment complexes.
Oh, yeah.
I
would think that's the best.
They should have individual CUC meters, and they should have individual Water Authority meters. In these modern times, we're talking about modernizing residential tenancies. This should be part and parcel of that same exact thing. So hopefully we'll see something come on board with that also, whether it's under the residential tenancies consideration, or government is also going to reintroduce new amendments under the present Water Authority and CUC band. But that's all I had to say for today. I'll listen to you and see if I want to chime in anything else later.
All right. We'll be having lots of open line. We've got, one segment with an interview, but we'll have more open line.
Okay.
Good to hear from you.
Thank you. Okay, bye-bye.
Got to take a break. Caller on the line. Hang in there for me.
The best foundation you can wear is glowing, healthy skin. The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter specialize in enhancing your skin's well-being. Whether you're seeking advanced skincare, including any skin cancers, Botox, filler, cosmetic skin enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles, Dr. Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email drporterkman@gmail.com or call 946-9020. That is 946-9020.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Kim and Brack and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
The 615 Weather Report, Monday through Friday, is proudly sponsored by CG Britcay. Insurance, health, pensions, life, where people come first.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. Let's go to the phone lines. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today. Hello.
Hey, Chalo.
Yes.
Good afternoon, my boy.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for the football update.
Well, you're welcome. You having a good time watching?
Oh, yeah, man. I don't miss no game, you know. I go sleep on some of them, but I don't miss no game.
Yeah, because I got to watch them at night, so I'm sitting there in the recliner, like, sometimes the roar of the crowd wakes me up, and I said, what happened?
Yeah, man. But it's good to know that you watching some, you know?
Mm-hmm. The action is getting good.
Your lady friend there, you know, Chalo, I love to hear her talk. I love to hear her discussions on things.
Mm-hmm.
And I really pray that she would live to really see it all come true. Because with the politics now, I'm a different kid, man, and I'm not going to move with faith.
Are you giving up on them?
Yeah. You got to show me now what you're talking about. You have to show me.
Yeah.
And then I believe you've done something.
So for you, talk is cheap, huh?
Yeah.
You want to see some action.
Charlie, you know we've been around a long time hearing these stories, boy. We've been around a long time, Charlie.
What do they say? A promise is a comfort to a fool.
Well, I guess so, if you want it to be. Yeah, man. Yeah, Charlie, the cup, the trophy, I really can't plan it out yet. I really don't have a belief in where it will go, because I believe Argentina and France is going to fall.
Really?
In other words, I would love to see an underdog take it.
Cape Verde is taking on Argentina.
Well, things could happen.
All kind of things can happen. Yeah.
I mean, everybody's praising Messi, but you got a youth named Mbappe coming behind him.
In France.
And you got Harry Kane. You can't rule these guys out. These guys are super professionals, man.
Oh yeah.
Understand?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If you look at England, how they pulled that off yesterday, my friend. Playing a good African side, you know.
They came from behind, huh?
But the English has super experience there with guys like Harry Kane. Yeah, man. I had felt good for them. And I believe that England can beat Mexico.
Mexico is playing good, though.
Mexico is a great side, playing good, got good record, everything, but records are made to be broken. And that can happen, you know what I'm saying?
And now you're into the knockout stage, so things are different from what it has been, right?
Well,
things are dead serious now. Every game is a final for everybody.
I'm a best player. I would love it until the final breath. And I'm quite sure there are many Caymanians that love the game.
Mm-hmm.
Love the game.
Oh, fanatics.
You understand?
Yeah.
And there'll always have people tell us, this is one of the reasons why our football is no better off today than what it is. We'll always have those people that don't like it. And because I don't like it, I don't like you because you like it. You understand? That's a mind problem, my boy. So we can't do nothing about that. You understand?
Yeah, I mean, our football has seen some tough times in recent years. You know.
I fully believe, Charlo, that a teacher Mike Field had lived 20 or 30 years more, things would have been different in Caymanian sports. Track and field, but that's all football, cricket, everything.
Mm-hmm.
I fully believe that things would have been different in Cayman sports. Because today we see in the small countries coming alive. It's no more about the small, they can't do it and thing. So I'll always believe in this. When it comes to skill and talent, God was not partial to mankind. He gave mankind everything to survive in this life. Talk to you later, old buddy.
All right, man. You take care. Have a good afternoon.
Yeah, man. You too.
Enjoy the matches.
Yeah, man. All right. Thanks.
Time to take a little break here. Be right back.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Join us for Mango Fest 2026 on Saturday, July 4th from 5 to 8 p.m. at the National Museum on the waterfront. Enjoy an evening of family-friendly fun with live music, local food, mango vendors, local crafts, free catboat rides, a mango peeling and eating competition, and the exciting mango dessert competition. Don't miss special mango dessert and mango cocktail demonstrations by the Hotel Indigo team. Free admission for everyone. Mango Fest 2026 is proudly sponsored by the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture, and Heritage, the Department of Tourism, Cayman Islands Civil Service Association Cooperative Credit Union, Hotel Indigo, Catalina, Willie's Fresh Fruits and Juices, Coriander Farms, and Cayman National. Come celebrate Cayman's love for mangoes with us, July 4th from 5 to 8 p.m.
Not sure where you fit in tech? Pathways in Tech by Enterprise Cayman can help you find your route. Whether you're interested in project management, computer support, or network systems, this program helps individuals explore practical, career-focused skills for real opportunities in Cayman's tech and innovation sector. It's beginner-friendly, job-relevant, special economic zone connected, and scholarships are available. Your path in tech starts here. Visit enterprisecayman.ky to apply today.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. Let's go straight to the phone lines. We've got a caller there. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today. Hello, you're on the air.
Good afternoon, Chalo.
Hi, how are you doing?
Okay, man.
What's your subject today?
You got open mic today?
Yeah, for now. Got an interview coming up at 1 o'clock with Mango Fest. You getting any mangoes in England?
Yeah, I got they got a farmer's market here that brings in a lot of stuff from South America.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and mangoes are sold there too. I go there practically every week. Is whenever I need anything for cooking or anything like that, and they have mangoes there too. Yeah.
So what's up today?
So, oh well. Speaking of people say that people are born certain ways, such as when it comes to homosexuality.
Mm-hmm.
They say people are born that way.
Yeah.
The thing is, Mr. Charles, we are all born sinners. And homosexuality is one of those sins. You have people who are murderers, thieves, liars, people who are greedy, people who are selfish. And these sins can be passed on from third and fourth generations. Grandmothers, great-grandmothers, grandfathers, great-grandfathers, great-great-grandfathers, great-great-grandmothers. The Bible tells you that. And then there are also sins that grandmothers and grandfathers or mothers and fathers might not have committed, but the individuals themselves chose to do so.
But do you think you can really can you compare someone being a homosexual to someone who's criminal, a thief or a murderer, or someone like that? I mean, is that a fair comparison? I'm telling you now. Is that a fair comparison? Though?
It's all sin. It's all sin. They're all sins.
But I mean, someone can choose not to steal.
And someone can choose not to be a homosexual too.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess they can abstain.
You better believe it.
But sexuality is something that is driven deep from our primal consciousness, you know.
The Bible tells you we're all born sinners. And you see, that is why Jesus came to the earth, you know, and died on the cross and died such a horrible death. To let us know the truth when it comes to sin. He was also tempted by the devil, and he resisted. You see, when you invite Jesus Christ into your life, into your heart, all those demons have to leave your life. They have to. But when you refuse to invite Jesus Christ into your heart and into your life and continue to allow those demons, because that's what they are, you know. When you continue to allow them to stay within your heart and your mind, that's when they take total control of you. And it only gets worse. You see when Pilate said to the Jews, I find no wrong in this man to crucify him. And they said, crucify him. Crucify him. And let his blood fall on our children and on our children's children. That's what they told Pilate right in front of Jesus, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And you know when that curse fell on the Jews? Do you know when that fell on them?
No.
When Hitler killed 6 million of them. That's why that happened. Because they brought it upon themselves.
That's a big stretch there for me.
Yeah, it's a big stretch. It's a big stretch. But one thing I pray for, you know, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. That's why I know the Bible. And I don't need anyone to teach me the Bible and what it means and what it's trying to let me know. That's why a false prophet cannot come anywhere near me and lead me astray. But that's what happened to the Jews. They brought that upon themselves. It might not happen the next day, you know, but it will happen. But like I say, we're all born sinners. We're all born into the world as sinners. We all carry curses upon us from the third and fourth generations. We all bring curses upon ourselves.
So let me understand.
By the sins we choose.
Let me ask. Let me see if I'm hearing you correctly.
Okay.
Are you saying that the Holocaust was some kind of divine act?
What I am saying is the Jews, when Pilate told them that he find no fault in this man to crucify him, which was true because all Jesus did was good, you know. He healed the sick. He made the blind see. All he did was goodness, you know.
Yeah, I'm clear up to there, yeah. But it's the Holocaust part that I'm kind of bewildered about. What you're saying.
You see. Yes, but you see why Jesus and God allowed that to happen? It's because the Jews brought it upon themselves. When they told Pilate to crucify the Son of God, when Pilate told them this man has done nothing wrong, but Pilate was afraid of his own life being taken because the Jews were so wicked and evil. And the Jews said to release Barabbas, a murderer and a thief who did wrong. The Jews told Pilate to release him and crucify Jesus.
So what I'm trying to get, that you're saying that God allowed the Holocaust to happen as some kind of revenge or something on the Jews?
No, not revenge on the Jews. They brought it upon themselves.
Okay, I'm still.
Life and death is in the power of the tongue, you know. The Bible tells you that. And you see, one thing about Jesus and God, you know, I could be a Christian for 50 years, and you could be a Christian for 1 minute. And Jesus and God are still willing to forgive you, even though you are a Christian for 1 minute, you know.
You don't think racism and white supremacists had anything to do with it?
Do with what?
With the Holocaust, with the Jews being killed, and Hitler blaming them for, you know, some of Germany's economic woes and that they were controlling everything and all that. And so he found a scapegoat to blame, and so he was going to wipe them out. I mean, that's, to me, that comes down to real is racism, you know.
Yeah, well, that's a part of it. That's a part of it. But the Jews brought it upon themselves when they said to crucify him. They don't care. Let his blood fall on our children.
You know,
children's and our children's children.
Religion is something you really can't debate, because either you believe that or you don't. As you know, it is no real middle ground, is there? You either believe it or you don't.
Let me tell you something, Charles. You remember the two thieves on the cross?
Yeah.
One thief said to Jesus, if you're the Son of God, why don't you take yourself down off this cross and take us down and take us off this cross too? He was making fun of Jesus. The next one said, leave him alone, man. The man that did nothing wrong. We deserve this, but this man don't deserve this. Leave the man alone. And he said, Jesus, please remember me when you get into your kingdom. And Jesus said, today you will be with me in paradise. A man who died on the cross with Jesus who admitted that he was a sinner. And Jesus, knowing his heart that he meant it, what he said to him, today you will be with me in paradise. Jesus forgave him and allowed him to enter into the kingdom of heaven. Somebody that was a Christian probably no longer than about 5 minutes. Thank you very much.
All right. You take care. Have a good one. And like I said, religion is something you can't debate. It's all about what you believe. Well, we're coming up on news time here, and after the news, we're going to be hearing about Mango Fest. So stay with us right now. Let's check in with the newsroom and see what's making headlines.
We are Radio Cayman,
covering Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, and Grand Cayman.
1 in a million. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
Acting Deputy Governor Gloria McField-Nixon has announced the appointment of Lauren Knight as the new Chief Officer for the portfolio of the Civil Service. Ms. Knight succeeds McField-Nixon in the role and has been with the Civil Service since 2014, rising from Internal Audit Manager to Deputy Chief Officer for Strategic Operations and Governance. She brings extensive experience in governance, HR policy, accountability, and public sector reform. Good afternoon, I'm Dion Anglin with your headlines. In news elsewhere, in international news, a man has been rescued alive after being trapped for 8 days under the rubble of a collapsed building in Venezuela. Emergency workers freed Herman Gill more than 100 hours after first locating him beneath 140 tons of debris. A Chilean firefighter described the operation as one of the most complex he has ever faced. Nearly 2,300 people are confirmed dead following the twin earthquakes on June 24th, with tens of thousands still missing. And in Canada, an 11-year-old boy has died from rabies after a bat landed on his face while he slept at a cottage in Ontario. According to a report in the Canadian Medical Association Journal, the family did not seek immediate medical attention because the child showed no visible injuries. However, 19 days later, he developed facial numbness and swelling before he was diagnosed with rabies. That's a wrap of your headlines. I'm Dion Anglin.
Radio Cayman. More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter. Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Your Cayman Islands Health Services Authority has been the national healthcare provider of the Cayman Islands for many generations. We have elevated our level of care to ensure you, our patients, have the best possible experience. We offer better access to care close to home with the most locations on all 3 islands, delivering a full range of primary, secondary, tertiary, and emergency care. HSA is a JCI accredited organization, and we are committed to caring for you.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Cayman Brac artist Holroy Eric Lorenzo Walton, affectionately known as Roy, was born on August 13, 1936 in Bogasan, Cayman Brac. Roy's upbringing in the Cayman Islands, rich with maritime traditions, fueled his love for shipbuilding and the sea. From assisting in the collection of boat timbers to his involvement in the turtling industry, Roy's fascination with the sea was evident. At 16, he embarked on his seafaring career with Colonel Shipping and later with National Boat Carriers, where he honed his skills and drew inspiration from the ocean. Despite the demands of his career, Roy's passion for art flourished, creating paintings, sculptures, and crafts that captured the essence of maritime life in the Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Hi, this is Gary King from Totally 80s. My special guest this week is Carol Decker from Tapao. Carol talks about the changing face of the music biz. I'll also bring you the latest news on the biggest stars of the decade.
This is Totally 80s.
Heard on Saturdays from 2 until 4 p.m. on Breeze 105.3 and 91.9. And brought to you with the kind compliments of KFC.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and let's take a quick look at the weather here. Currently in Georgetown, it's 87 degrees, feels like 103, and the afternoon forecast is calling for some showers around us. And let's see, let's see what else is currently happening here. The winds out of the east-southeast at about 6.5 knots, relative humidity 82%, and the forecast for this evening, partly cloudy skies with cloudy spells and a 30% chance of showers. Temperatures will be in the low 80s. Winds out of the northeast to east at 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be slight to moderate, wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. Sunset at 7:06 this evening, and the outlook is for occasional showers to continue through Saturday as instability lingers across the area due to a passage of another tropical wave to the south of the area and possible favorable conditions due to the presence of upper-level trough. Well, everybody enjoying the mango season. Seems like there's mangoes everywhere. There must be a really good crop of mangoes. So why not celebrate mangoes, right? And Mango Fest 2026 is coming up, and it's put on by the Cayman Islands National Museum. And joining me now is the Cayman Islands National Museum Director, Dr. Veryl Poupé, and also Communication and Events Manager, Brian Watler Jr. Welcome to the studio. I hope I got your name right.
You did.
So, Mango Fest, but when is this going to happen?
Yes, so this Mango Fest, this is our 9th annual Mango Fest, and it takes place this coming Saturday, 4th of July, from 5 to 8 p.m. at the National Museum at the Waterfront. We're going to be using Gorin Avenue and Seafarers Way.
Now, is this a new venue? Because I seem to remember it being up at Pedro at some point. Or
No, I think they did a Mango Mania several years ago. But we started with Mango Fest in 2017 at the museum on the waterfront. Yeah.
So how did this develop as a project of the museum?
Well, this Mango Fest was an idea of Shanice McField and I. We were both interns at the time at the National Museum. We started conceptualizing from 2016, and then 2017 is when we actually had the first iteration of Mango Fest. Yeah.
And is this all part of what museums do? These kind of things?
Oh yes, I think organizing community festivals, markets, engaging the local
community,
creative and cultural industries, it's all part of what we do. It's a way to engage the community in a fun, in an enjoyable way with the work of the museum. People often think of museums as these very serious, earnest places.
You go in and look at exhibits.
Exactly. Your solemn duty. But going to museums is fun, and a lot of what we do is really about very enjoyable things that are part of daily life, and this is an opportunity for us to drive that home. And the museum will in fact be open, so people can also view our exhibitions if they want a moment of air conditioning.
Yeah, it'll be hot.
Yeah. So tell us what you have planned for this year's Mango Fest.
So this year we expanded. This year we actually have 2 days. Well, we have an evening Mango Fest launch, which happens on the Friday. That's going to be at Hotel Indigo, and we're thankful for their partnership. And then we're going to have the market itself is going to be on the Saturday. So we're going to have everything from catboat rides. We have a mango dessert demo that's going to be by Hotel Indigo, a mango cocktail demo by Hotel Indigo as well, and a mango dessert competition, a mango peeling and eating competition, live music. Yeah, you name it. We have everything.
So mango peeling?
Peeling and eating.
Peeling and eating.
Yeah, and they have to peel it with their mouth. They can't use their hands. They can use their hands to hold the mango, but they have to use their mouth and peel the mango and eat every single one.
More a traditional style.
Yeah, traditional style. Very messy.
Not for the faint of heart.
So, is that to see how many you can peel and eat?
We're gonna,
or how does that work?
We're gonna assign them five to six mangoes, small mangoes, probably common round mangoes, and then they have to peel and eat everyone.
So the first one to
finish
is the winner.
Yep.
So you have a prize for that?
Yes, we do. Cayman Airways sponsored this year. They sponsored a Sir Turtle Rewards voucher for 8,000 miles, and we also have a gift basket for the first place winner.
Now, when you say eat, now, I guess you're not using a knife or anything, right?
Just your mouth. And we just want to see seed when you're done.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. What determines that you are finished?
We want to see the seed. That's it.
That's it.
No meat should be left on the mango.
You got to clean it off real well.
Yeah.
We have standards.
And it doesn't matter if you get your face all messed up.
Yeah. Well, we'll have tissue and all kind of things around so you can clean up after.
I remember when I was a kid that was a great thing to have ripe mango, and you go in the sea.
Yeah.
Right. And you eat the ripe mango in the sea, and you could just be as messy as you want.
Yeah.
Just totally enjoy the mango.
We planned on having a diving for mangoes competition this year, but we're actually gonna do that next year.
We used to throw them in the sea and dive them up.
Yep.
Yeah. Do people still do that?
I haven't seen anyone do it. I hear a lot of the older persons talk about it. But next year we'll try to include it in the program.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be good because you're right there on Housestead Payday.
Yeah, perfect location.
Yeah. So give us some more details about what's going to be happening.
So we do have those demos. We have the catboat rides in the harbor, and then we have 47 vendors this year. We have a street dedicated to just food and beverage vendors, and they're going to be selling everything with mango ingredients in it. So from mango ice cream, mango tarts, mango jerk seasoning, you name it, everything mango. That'll be on Gorin Avenue, our food and beverage vendors. And then on Seafarers, where we have all our artisans, our arts and craft. And they do have mangoes incorporated in their products as well, because I saw Miss Cara Julian. She's actually one of the vendors. She was showing some of her charcuterie boards and cutting boards with mangoes on it, with her style of illustration. So we're going to have a wide variety of vendors.
Yeah. I mean, people make a lot of different things out of mango. I mean, it's a favorite flavor, right?
Yeah, a lot of things.
Salsa.
Yeah, salsa. I
dressings.
think Cayman Cabanas. I think they might be doing breadfruit tacos, with mango sauce, I believe. Yeah, people are experimenting.
So they're going to be there also?
Yeah, Cayman Cabana is going to be there as a food vendor. Yeah.
Even beauty products, have mango ingredients.
Yeah, face products, face scrubs, soaps. Yeah, they're going to have a wide variety of things with mango.
Yeah. So how many vendors did you say you had?
47.
47.
It's a lot more than we had in 2017 when we started. We probably had like 15, 20 vendors. Yeah. Now we have 47.
Which is the most ever, I think.
Yeah, most vendors we've ever had. Yeah.
So how has the attendance grown over the years?
Over the years, tremendously. I mean, when we first started, I mean, it was the first year of Mango Fest. I would say maybe 200 participants, but last year we had over 300. So
more than 5, actually.
Yeah, well, more than 5. There we go, more than 5. So this year we actually plan or expect a lot more people coming because people have been sharing, people have been talking about it. So I think we will have a lot of people this year.
So I guess people are pretty excited to see all the different things that can be done with mango.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that was the feedback last year. They wanted a lot more with mango, so we made sure to include a lot more vendors with mango products and stuff.
Mm. So can you buy mango plants, the seedlings, or?
Department of Agriculture will actually be there doing mango grafting demonstrations. I don't think they're selling mango plants, but there's also going to be coriander farms and Willie's farms that they're going to be selling mangoes. Mm-hmm. And Miss Emily, she comes every year. She's from Willie's farm, and she has maybe over 30 something different varieties of mangoes. Yeah.
So, Department of Agriculture are going to do a grafting.
Yeah, a mango tree grafting demo.
So people can learn how to graft?
Yeah.
Is that the object there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that used to be a big thing too.
It's a skill.
Yeah. You got to do it just right,
yep.
Or you're not going to be successful. But I remember it was in my family, there was a tree that had, I don't know, about 5, 6 different types of mangoes.
Mm-hmm.
My aunt, she enjoyed grafting. And she grafted all these different mangoes onto this one tree.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like you reach up and grab a mango, you weren't sure which one you're going to get.
I think in our childhood home too, we had a grafted mango tree. It was either a grafted mango tree or an avocado tree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So people will be able to visit the museum itself during the Mango Fest. So what is happening at the museum right now?
Well, we have 2 special exhibitions. One is Kimanos, the Ira Thompson collection, which really looks at our foundational collection. I mean, the Ira Thompson was one of the island's first taxi drivers, one of the first car owners, a well-known public figure who took all sorts of celebrities, visitors around, but who was also very much a community activist, and he collected pretty much everything.
Everything.
And he set up this private museum, and then when he got older, he sold the museum to government, and that became the foundation of our collection. Mm-hmm. So we're both looking at his contribution in terms of, somebody who was sort of a cultural activist in many ways, and put together this collection, but also really at our foundations, that's really how we started, and so that is one exhibition, and then the other one is Freedoms Imagined, Freedoms Given. You want to talk about that one, Brian, because you're the curator of that one.
That's our emancipation exhibition. So we actually feature 2 enslaved women at the time in Cayman, as Elizabeth Jane Trusty and Long Celia. So it's their journey to emancipation. Long Celia, she would have been speaking of freedom, and she was lashed, of course, publicly in Georgetown. And Elizabeth Jane Trusty bought her own freedom in 1809. So we have 4 spaces dedicated to this exhibition. We have the old jail, which has a first-person monologue AI-generated videos of Long Celia and Elizabeth Jane Trusty.
Spectacular, if I may say so.
Then we have the stairwell.
This is animated?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, comes to life size. And then the stairwell, we have the timeline of slavery and emancipation in the Cayman Islands, and then we have 2 galleries dedicated to both women.
Mm-hmm. And that's something that a lot of Caymanians don't know about, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So education about that history is important, and we plan to do a lot more of that in the future. Don't want to give away our plans for next year, but it's just a start, really.
And people have been receptive.
What kind of reaction you get, especially, they talk, is that...
Yeah, they talk. They tell their story. It's 5 minutes. They both tell their stories. People are always blown away when they walk out of that.
What kind of reactions you get?
People are like, whoa, wow. It's emotional. Some people say when they walk in, there's like, this room has a spirit. I had goosebumps when I walked out. It just had a presence of both ladies.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people didn't know anything about Elizabeth Jane Trusty. I didn't know anything until I started working on this exhibit. But I knew about Long Celia.
Yeah.
There were mixed reviews.
And there is a possibility that Long Celia was actually held in the old jail.
Right.
So there is potentially
Really?
a historical connection, which we're trying to establish more securely. So it sort of brings her home in terms of a place that is associated with her memory. But when I first saw the videos, I mean, it's mind blowing. Really, it's goosebumps kind of experience to bring history to life using technology. And to bring people whose voices were lost in history, so to speak, to bring them back that way. So I think it's a very strong experience, and there's a lot to learn from it. I mean, the exhibition itself, we did not use the sort of conventional objects that people think of for slavery, like shackles and so on. Instead, we used the material culture of that time, the sort of things that these women would have used in their lives, that they may have owned. Especially Elizabeth Jane Trusty became quite wealthy after she manumitted herself, also manumitted others. So it was another sort of way.
She worked to free other enslaved people.
Yes, she did. And adopted 2 children that she had manumitted. Roy Murray, Dr. Roy Murray, whose scholarship is the basis for this exhibition, believes that those children may in fact have been her own children. So that she freed her own children and then formally adopted them. So it's a very complex set of stories and 2 different ways that these women challenged slavery and found a way to negotiate around that. So I think it's a very strong project. It's histories that people in the Cayman Islands need to know about, and I think it's presented, in a very positive and compelling way.
Does schools bring children on field trips to the museum?
Yeah, throughout the year, we do, and we do have summer camps over the summer. A lot of summer camps over the summer.
Because I would imagine that an exhibit like that must be so important for children to see that gives them, a sense of roots and where we have come from.
Yeah. And we actually had another summer camp that reached out and said they want us to come do a presentation at their camp on emancipation and slavery. So people have an interest in the topic.
Yeah, and we do have follow-up plans. Well, another exhibition, which will look at 2 other figures. Won't disclose which ones, but also to develop educational materials so that we can create an education pack and give it to schools for different levels to talk about this subject and also to talk about what does that mean today. Which is of course the most important part of any kind of history. So I think it's an important project, and we intend to continue building on it. I mean, we had a very interesting lecture and panel discussion with Dr. Roy Murray, who was here for the opening. And that was completely booked out. Yeah. We had it at CNCF at the Harkale Studio Theatre, and we had a wait list. We had people queuing outside, hoping to get in. And
fantastic.
So it was very, very successful, and which shows that it's really needed, to have that conversation.
Let me go back to Mr. Ira Thompson. I remember him as from a child. I went to school at Truth for Youth out on the waterfront there by the Church of God, and his house was just down the street from that. So we used to always go by there as children. And I mean, he had also like the first kind of anything near a zoo.
Right.
And I had the macaws and all the iguanas, and we've all found that very fascinating. And like you say, he collected everything. But anything that you found in that collection that you say, my goodness, I'm glad this man was a collector. Look at what we have here.
A number of things, because there are these objects. There is this sculpture from Bali, which was found on a beach here in the Cayman Islands. There is a drum which has been identified as coming from Haiti, which also was found just, I think that was on South Sound. So the question is, how did these objects get here? Were they brought by seafaring Caymanians? Were they just washed up on the beach, which is not impossible with things coming from Haiti, given the currents and so on. So I think the fascinating thing about that collection is that as humble as some of the objects are, and there's some spectacular objects, but then there are other things which are very common kind of things.
Yeah.
Every object has a story. Yeah. There is always something of interest behind it. So it really is sort of a storytelling collection, and I think that's also how we see him as somebody who was really deeply invested in the stories of the Cayman Islands.
But do a lot of his items, give you a picture of life, 100, 200 years ago in Cayman, or
Definitely for the 20th century, I would say.
Yeah, a lot of tools and stuff like that. Yeah, it does. I think it does give a good depiction of
even
early
his
Cayman.
passport. We have his passport, and things like that. Glasses. I mean, all sorts of things. And I think it also shows how the culture in the Cayman Islands is both locally grounded but also globally connected. You know, they're literally objects from all parts of the world that somehow became part of this collection. And he was not a traveler himself. He never went to see. I think he traveled only once or twice in his life.
Really?
The only stamp in his passport, the only visa stamp is Jamaica. So he was not a typical Caymanian in that sense. I mean, people think of that men had to go to sea. He made other choices. But I think he traveled also in his imagination, you know, sort of bringing all those different things together in this one collection. And that's another way of traveling, you know, to really experience the world, your own world and the world of others through all these objects, memorabilia, and so on.
So that exhibit... Is that like a permanent exhibit or?
No, those are both temporary exhibitions. We will, we are trying to rotate our collection a little bit more. We also have our permanent exhibitions, and those remain open. But we definitely want to incorporate more from these collections in a permanent way in the exhibition. So we're also beginning to rethink how we deal with our permanent exhibitions, so that, since Ira Thompson is so important to the history of the museum, so that there is permanent recognition of that, right? That is not something that we just trot out once in a while, but that we honor on a longer term basis. So we do have big plans in terms of how we want to develop the museum, looking at additional spaces, branches, and so on, because the museum it's a beautiful building, and we always joke that it's our biggest artifact, but it's also small. It's small,
right.
And
you have challenges there, right?
Right. And it's on the waterfront, so there's some limitations with that also in terms of what we can do. It's a historical building, so we cannot modify the building in a way that you could do with a modern building. I think part of the problem with our permanent exhibition is that it was sort of tailored to fit the size of the building, but I think, as the Ira Thompson collection proves, the story of the Cayman Islands is much bigger than that, so we need to have more spaces where we can tell those stories in more detail than we do now.
How much longer are those exhibits going to be up that people can catch them?
Until the end of August. Potentially we may extend them for a couple of weeks if we can. We'll see how it goes, but definitely until the end of August. For both.
But right now, what's at hand is the Mango Fest. So let's make sure that people know all the details.
Yes, so Mango Fest, 9th Annual Mango Fest, it happens this coming Saturday, 4th of July, from 5 to 8 p.m. on the waterfront in Georgetown.
So, and it's a free event?
Yeah, free event. Free to the public. Everyone can
family
come on
friendly. Celebration of summer, school's out.
Yeah.
Everybody can enjoy themselves, so.
You have anything special for children?
We have Bunks and Castle. We have the fire service. They're going to be there as well with 2 of their trucks, giving tours of that. We have the catboat rides. There's vendors with cotton candy, snow cones, everything for everyone.
And there's some wonderful photo ops also.
Oh, yes. We're going to have a giant mango that you can go take a picture in front of. I think a lot of people will be fascinated by that.
Yeah, I imagine a lot of people want to go on a catboat ride.
Oh, yeah. People were surprised to hear that we were going to have catboat rides.
So that, because, I mean, that was the pickup truck of the Cayman Islands of yesterday, right?
From north side to west, we're all the way to town, That was the transportation.
And that's courtesy of the Catboat Club.
Yeah, courtesy of the Catboat Club, They're going to be doing free rides for us.
Yeah. Any more sponsors that you want to get?
Yes, we have a lot. We have the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture and Heritage, the Ministry of Planning, Lands, Agriculture, Housing and Infrastructure, Ministry of Social Development and Innovation, the Department of Tourism, Hotel Indigo in Catalina, Cayman Airways, Cayman National Bank, the Cayman Catboat Club, Coriander Farms, Willis Fresh Fruits and Juices, Credit Union, Vision Marketing, and Crown Rentals.
So all those organizations helping you to make this possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're very grateful. I think this is the longest list of sponsors we have had thus far. So.
Well, that must be an indicator of the impact that the festival is having. People, organizations willing to help out and make it happen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and of course, I guess people will be into that peel and eat.
Peel and eat, yeah.
The mango. What's the price for that?
The prize for that, we have a gift basket, and we have other prizes. The vendors that are participating, they actually all donated an item or two. I think we have over 20-something different prizes. So we'll do a lot of trivia throughout the day. They will be giving out prizes and
T-shirts.
And T-shirts, Mango Fest T-shirts, yeah.
Okay. So once again, the time and place?
Saturday, 4th of July from 5 to 8 p.m. at the National Museum on the waterfront.
Well, thank you all for coming in and letting us know about this. I hope you have a good crowd down there on the waterfront.
Thank you.
For the Mango Fest.
Thank you.
We're looking forward to it ourselves, actually. It's a fun event.
You have a good afternoon.
Right, thank you for having us.
We're going to take a break. We'll be right back with more Talk Today.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Explore your history. Explore your land. Explore your sister islands, the ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom, the land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your sister islands.
Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Here's a COC storm tip. Ensure your battery packs and electronic devices are always charged prior to a storm approaching. Keeping your kids entertained during a storm is one thing less you need to worry about. With COC, you've got the power.
Hello, Cayman. This is George. From April 1976, I've been tuned in, listening in, and calling in to Radio Cayman from the first time, the initial broadcast, and continue up until today. So I want to congratulate Radio Cayman and the whole entire staff.
Hold on a little bit longer.
Radio Cayman News.
Finance Committee mulls over more than $134 million in supplemental government spending.
The request touched nearly every corner of government.
We reflect the needs of our community and government's commitment to responsibly addressing emerging pressures.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice for today's biggest news.
7 days a week.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. And by the way, if you want to visit the Cayman Islands National Museum on a Sunday, they are trying something out, a little pilot program to see how it goes. Every Sunday during the month of July, the museum will be open from 1 until 5 o'clock. So if you want to check that out, you have a little time on your hands on a Sunday afternoon, you can go by and see those exhibits there at the Cayman Islands Museum from 1 o'clock until 5 o'clock every Sunday during July. And I think we have some calls on the line, some WhatsApp calls. No, I thought we had a call. All right, no calls. But you are free to call. And I invite you to call because we're back to open line. And if you don't know the number, here they are, the numbers, 1-800-534-8255. That is courtesy of Flo. Also reach the studio at 949-8037, 949-6990, or you can give us a WhatsApp call, 925-3261. And we were talking with our first caller there about the number of the number of portfolios that ministers have, and sometimes it looks, like a pretty heavy load that they carry. And so I just took a look here at the cabinet ministers, and starting with the Premier, the Honorable Andre Ebanks, Premier and Minister for Financial Services and Commerce. The Honorable Gary Ruddy, he is Deputy Premier, of course, and he's also Minister for Tourism and Trade Development. And the Honorable Isaac Rankin, Minister for Social Development and Innovation, and Minister for Youth, Sports, Culture, and Heritage. The Honorable Catherine Ebanks Wilkes, Minister for Health, Environment, and Sustainability. The Honorable J. Ebanks, Minister for Planning, Lands, Agriculture, Housing, and Infrastructure. The Honorable Ralston Anglin, Minister for Finance and Economic Development, and Minister for Education and Training. That's a pretty heavy portfolio there. And the Honorable Nicholas DaCosta, Minister for District Administration and Home Affairs. The Honorable Michael Miles, Minister for Caymanian Employment and Immigration. And those are how the ministries are shared up in the present government. Do we have a caller there? Well, let's take that call. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today. Hello? Hello? Are you?
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, yes, go ahead. You're on the air.
Yeah. I was wondering if you could hear me.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Thank you. I imagine they're going to have to. First of all, I was very interested with the museum there, with the mango thing and the other things they're talking about, too. I can give a little bit of input on that. But, yes, they might have to split up the ministries better and maybe give more responsibility to other ministers where it's a kind of lighter weight on them, if that's correct nomenclature. But or maybe they'll have to add 2 more seats, maybe 1 more north side, 1 more in east end, as many people have suggested, since they're so big in area, those 2 districts, and we'll see what happens. But with Mr. Ira there, Mr. Ira made quite a few boats himself, not just model boats, big boats. And there's a famous picture of him standing near the bow, the prow of one of them, which is almost finished. It have been a motor vessel, maybe 40 feet or so, judging from the height of her bow and so forth. But she's on land still in her cradle, more or less. And he also used to run the tender, if you want to put it that way, for the seaplane, him and famous Mr. Benny Ross, and I think they used Benny's boat, the Bravo. And there's a famous story about the both of them. Benny told me this many times long ago, and it was known by many. They used to put her off at the slip there, where is now that harbor, the yacht basin there by the Scots, on the
in the North Sound
road there, yes, and at the back of the ear there,
yeah,
that was a slip where she would come up, and then they'd put her out with it, because she was fitted with landing gear, you know, the PBY Carolina,
yeah,
very wide wingspan, etc. Anyhow, and then they'd pull her off by her tails, you know, her stern, to put it that way, and pull her off of the boat. And then when she got out and spun her around, they started up, of course, the pilot would start taking her run for the takeoff. But Benny said they used to hang on to it with a tow line on the last minute and then slip it off. The off the little boat because he would tow for fish.
Mm-hmm.
They were pulling them at that high speed. Anyhow, the rope wouldn't come off, and he had to throw a knife to Mr. Ira to cut her loose. And Benny was saying that they're already about 20 feet up in the air with the boat. You know?
I was wondering if that was the story you were going to tell, because I've heard that too.
It rose to that height. That's what Benny said to me many times. He told me that himself. But Mr. Ira used to run the boat. I'm not saying if he went to sea professionally on boats, but he did build boats. He tried them, take them out for trials and stuff like that. So he was a true seaman. The other thing is with Mary Jane, what was her name again? Elizabeth Jane Trustee.
Yeah.
She owned slaves herself also. She owned, I think it was 7 slaves she owned, and she had businesses and all that. And there's vivid descriptions of her business and her.
Yeah, they said she became quite wealthy.
Yeah, who worked with her and of her household and the slaves who were in her household. And she was paid on that compensation list. I have a copy of it. By the British when they paid, every slave owner compensation. Throughout all the colonies right around the world. In fact, Great Britain had set aside £20 million to do that. Billions and millions of pounds in today's money.
So you mean even though she freed or helped to free some of the other enslaved people, she had slaves herself? After
she was freed.
Uh-huh.
And she wasn't... There's no record of her being an active abolitionist or anything like that, or anyone agitating for abolition of slavery, but she owned slaves.
Yeah, that's a thing is kind of hard to wrap your head around sometimes.
Yes.
That there were free black people that had slaves in the Caribbean and here in Cayman.
Of course, it happened a lot in the U.S. also.
Mm-hmm.
With that woman there in Louisiana who owned way over 1,000 slaves. She owned the most slaves of any former slave in the whole United States. And then the second to her was a man, I think, in South Carolina. He also owned over 1,000 slaves. So that happened throughout the whole Western world of slavery. There's a lot that's not talked about, or maybe not wanted to be talked about, but in today's world. But those things are realities. And she did own 7 slaves, and she was paid her compensation for her 7 slaves.
After emancipation.
All the other slave owners, yes, up on that. Well, they weren't registered here, and that was a problem. But the document that was read out by Captain Pack actually was done 10 months after slavery was abolished.
Yeah, they were late coming to Cayman.
It ended the apprenticeship system. Remember, that was implemented by the British. They had to do 4 and 6 years of apprenticeship even after being freed, which meant working for free, really, for 4 and 6 years, doing the same work at all.
Yeah, another form of slavery.
Apprenticeship slave labor. And it ended it here in Cayman in 10 months for the 985 of us who were slaves here of the 2,000 population. So it ended first in Cayman completely. That document, read by Captain Pack, written by the British governor of Jamaica, Lord Sligo, was his title. His real name was Peter Brown Ho, that governor. He came from Sligo in Ireland. But, and he wasn't particularly interested in freeing the slaves either, because he says so in the document. I don't know how many people have read that document. That's the entire document. That's what he says, because he says, though I think it's an injustice and an inconvenience for the slave owners to be deprived of the services of their Negroes, I am commanded to write this document. Anyhow, he wrote it and brought it here himself, and Pack read it out. There are 3 places in town here where is now the museum, same museum, on the 3rd of May, 1835, and then the 5th of May in Borden Town, and then at the Pedro St. James, the great house called the Castle, on the 6th of May, and then in Little Cayman on the 7th, because the weather was too bad to land in Cayman Brac, so they landed in Little Cayman. That's what I've been told and have it recorded.
Mm-hmm.
That is how it went, and then the compensation came into effect because they weren't registered, and that was all the problem here, so that people could get, slave owners could get their monies. But she did own slaves, and Long Celia was actually owned by one of my great uncles, Thomas Knowles Eden, and she was tried right there in the courthouse on the 2nd floor of the great house for incenting, the words she had said, and she was tried right there in his father's house, on the courthouse there. And that's how it went. And then she was ordered to get 50 lashes by Judge Drayton. And she got the 50 lashes in town. And then there's stories that she was banished to Corn Island, Nicaragua. Then there's stories that she just was banished back to her. She went back to her home in East End. It's not very clear what happened to her, though she did belong to one of my ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have all that.
I'd always heard the banished one.
Yes, I heard the banished one, and also all the ones that. So it's a complicated thing, and so there's some terrible shame on my Eden's part. Also, he could have stopped that if he wanted. Who owned her? My great uncle Thomas Knowles Eden. Because the old man was married twice, and he came from the second marriage. But there was nothing to mention what records I have that he did anything to try to prevent Drayton from doing that. I helped to film that video with Mr. Koo there when we did the video. I helped a lot with it. Some years ago we did that right there in that same 2nd floor that they now have on display. And
it was great to be able to, preserve things like that.
Yes.
Document it.
It certainly is a shameful thing in our history. And that is it. But she did stand up. She did stand up. That was what caused that fate of 50 lashes on her bare body. A very humiliating, a very painful experience for that poor woman. Somewhere in Georgetown, I understand it would have been now where the post office is. That's where it would have been.
And that was a public lashing, right?
Yes, public lashing. It said so on her bare body, 50 lashes. And that's what Drayton ordered. And he was one of the 3 writers, names of the 3 people who wrote that letter to the governor of Jamaica at the time, another Irishman, just before the previous one to Sligo. Forgotten his name now, but he was also very infamous there. There's plenty of history there.
Well, Mickey, thank you for the history, the little history lesson.
Because I thought it was necessary for even the people of, since one of the gentlemen there said he didn't know anything about me, Elizabeth Jane Trusty.
Until he started working on the project. Yeah.
Yes, but she's well known, and she did own slaves herself. And she was not an ardent abolitionist at all. There's no record of her being anywhere involved in any abolition movement or anything like that.
Yeah.
Take care, Shallow. Thanks for letting me just say these few words.
Always. You take care. Have a good afternoon. Yeah, these things, teach our children that we just didn't happen here. we have a history, we have roots, we have stories about, our forefathers and what went on, 100, 200 years ago. Always good to give them, as far as young people, a footing, a foundation that they know that, their line runs back a ways. And interesting story as far as like young people knowing where we come from. One of my grandsons, when he was very small, asked his mother, "Mommy, where did I come from?" Well, she started, giving the biological story of where you came from. And he said, "No, that's not what I mean. I mean, where did I come from? Like, what country did I come from?" Because he had all these friends in school that were from other countries. So he went, "Where did I come from?" And, she had to tell him, "You come from right here, son. You're a Caymanian." Got to take a break. Be right back.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Let's hear it for your Wildcat cheerleaders.
Aunt Angie, weren't you a cheerleader?
The best in the Western Hemisphere, until I attempted that switch kick double twist roundhouse.
Huh?
Exactly. I must have been in the air for 20 seconds before I fell into that snare drum. I set a world record, though, and thankfully I could trust the CG Medical Portal with my claims. All 37 of them.
The CG Medical Portal. Safe and secure. CG Brit-K. Good like that.
It's here. Multi-year trade and business licenses are now available. You heard right. You can apply for TBLs up to 5 years. Save time, reduce paperwork, and focus on growing your business. Apply online at dci.gov.ky. Apply for your multi-year trade and business licenses today.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. Let's go straight to the phones. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today. What's on your mind?
Shallow. That conversation about Mr. Ira there.
Yeah.
One thing that I never heard mentioned in it, but maybe a different kind of subject, but, he was very also involved, and I would say instrumental in saving the Cayman blue iguana.
Yeah, he had a collection of them too, right?
Well, I think but I'm not sure whether you could put it in a collection. But I think he had one, or he might have had two, might have had a pair.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that they actually wound up at the zoo in Tampa.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that was where the original work started to be conducted to save the species.
Oh,
forget what the name of the park is, but it's a very, very famous park and almost right in the middle of the Tampa metro. Mallory, it's not Mallory, that's Key West. I forget the name of the zoo. And you very rarely hear that aspect of the man Mr. Ira mentioned.
Well, like I said, when I was going to Truth for Youth, which is right close to where he used to live out there. But all the children would go down there to his home, and he had these beautiful macaws, And I know he had some iguanas, for sure. We used to, he had them, caged, and we would look at them and, be fascinated with them. So he was quite an interesting man.
Oh, yeah. And not very big in stature, but...
No, big in mind.
Yeah. But and it was mentioned in the version that Mickey mentioned about that famous boat in the air thing.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Radio Cayman has got narrative of Ben telling the story.
Yeah, you played that one time when you were on here.
Yeah, I think we did, yeah.
Is that Lowry Park? The zoo in Tampa?
Yeah, Lowry.
Yeah.
I think that's it,
Yeah, I looked it up here. So that's where the effort to
I think
breed and bring back the blue iguana started?
Yeah.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah. Actually, he has also my great grandfather's sword that he landed here in Cayman in the early part of the 18th century.
I got to hear about this now.
Yeah. Well, he was shipwrecked around Cuba.
Uh-huh.
And somehow he found his way over here on a turtle boat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess he
had a sword.
Yeah.
So
we kind of traced it back that he was a Scottish naval officer.
Oh.
So, and there are stories about his official uniform hanging up and the sword, and it's in the museum. And when they started talking about Mr. Ira, the thought went through my mind, and I think it might have been on display sometime recently, or I heard that it was going on display or something.
Mm-hmm.
But it laid around in the old would be my then great grandfather's kitchen for a long time, and I guess Mr. Ira must have found out about it, and that he got it in his collection.
Yeah, it always fascinates me, a man like him, that he just took the interest of, saving these things, these artifacts, but whether it was a big pot that you boiled the cane sugar in or whatever, that he had just had a sense of history and the importance of saving it.
Well,
because a lot of stuff, from way back, I remember some of the furniture that people had in their houses and stuff. After a while, instead of appreciating that, people just threw it out.
Yeah. I mean, Mr. Ira was in many things because he was a taxi driver.
Yeah.
I think he drove. He was one of the officials. He might have been. I think they probably had two during those days, but the official driver for some of the administrators, and before that, commissioners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think he also either piloted or worked with Ben on the boat.
The seaplanes that were coming in?
Well, yes. But the boat that used to go out to clear the ships when they came in,
okay.
Yeah. So he was a very, very, of course, Graham Thompson was his son.
Yeah.
Who again was very interested, very
what a character.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some people who can tell you some stories about Graham.
Oh yeah. But he well, you remember the character that he used to play, Gabby?
No. Oh, you mean in the movies?
Yeah, Gabby Hayes.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
So, anyway, I just thought mentioned those things about it. And, of course, him and Ben Mim made quite a pair. I'll drop this one in just quickly about Ben Ben.
Mm-hmm.
And this happened, I guess I was probably no more than 10, 11 years old. And this was when Alan Parker came here trying to create the first air, what we call it, air connection to Cayman. And Ben Ben was his official driver. And in later years, Parker kind of fell into, I guess you could say, some ill repute here in Cayman, but you couldn't say anything with Parker and let Ben Ben here. But anyway, Ben Ben came to West Bay, and Parker was going around visiting the houses of the people in general, trying to convince them, and he was trying to collect enough funds to fund this.
He was selling shares.
Yeah, basically, yeah. And Ben Ben had I guess it must have been a Model T, and he stopped out there, right, 150 feet down from where the four-way stop is in the West Bay, going to visit, I can call the name, Mr. Reynolds. He was a seafarer, so he had, I suppose, a little back pocket money. And while he was in there, I came by Ben Ben on the road, and the car was steaming. Steam was coming out of the radiator. And he said, "Sonny, think you can get me some water?" I said, "Well, I don't know. I'll ask. Doesn't he still have? I can get some water out of a well." So I went, and she said, "Yeah, take the bucket and get some water." And I took it back up to Ben Ben, and he put it in the radiator. Being the age I was fascinated by cars. There was only maybe no more than 10, I would say. Not even that many cars in the district. And I said to Ben Ben, I said, "Mr. Ben, you think this car can do 50 miles an hour?" He put his hand on my shoulder and said, "My son, if I took this car up into the clouds and let it go, it couldn't do 50 miles an hour."
Loxley, thanks for the call. I got to go to the news.
Okay, pal. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
All right, let's see what's making headlines.
Maples & Calder has announced 2 new partners in its Cayman Islands office. Piers Reynolds and James Turner have been appointed to partnership, strengthening the Maples Group's growing legal services platform in the jurisdiction. Both are well-regarded practitioners with extensive experience advising on complex, high-value matters across Cayman's international financial services market. Good afternoon once again. I'm Dion Anglin with your headlines in news elsewhere. In Ukraine, Russian forces launched what Kiev's mayor called the most massive attack on the capital overnight. 21 people were killed and 85 injured, including 2 children, after drones and missiles struck multiple neighborhoods. An ambulance station was among the sites hit. The barrage came just hours after President Volodymyr Zelensky warned that Russia was preparing a major assault. Authorities say several areas had to be evacuated. And at the World Cup, Cape Verde defender Roberto Pico Lopez is preparing for a knockout showdown with Lionel Messi. Cape Verde advanced from Group H after draws with Spain, Uruguay and Saudi Arabia, finishing second behind the European champions. They now face defending champions Argentina in Miami on Friday. Messi has already scored 6 goals in what is expected to be his final World Cup, but Pico's mother, Judy Lopez, says her son will embrace the challenge. That's a wrap of your headlines. I'm Dion Anglin.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the Salad Bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. Let's get a little weather update here. The afternoon forecast is calling for showers, and the current information here in Georgetown, it's 89 degrees, and it feels like 105. Winds almost at 9 knots, coming out of the southeast with a relative humidity of 76%. And the forecast for this evening and overnight, partly cloudy skies with cloudy spells and a 30% chance of showers. Temperatures in the low 80s, winds out of the northeast to east at 5 to 10 knots, seas running at 2 to 4 feet rather. Sunset at 7:06 this evening, and the outlook is for occasional showers to continue through Saturday. We have a little tropical wave moving to the south of the area, and possible favorable conditions due to the presence of an upper-level trough. So that's how things are looking through Saturday here. Well, did you have any turtle meat recently? Maybe you had some turtle meat for lunch, huh? Apparently, without much ado, turtle meat has reappeared. I actually didn't know that it had disappeared, but looking at this story by Simon Boxall here in the Compass, the Turtle Center, had stopped supplying turtle meat. We've had some talk on here about, the problem of getting turtle meat, but they had, just on the quiet, stopped providing turtle meat, and now it is available again without not a lot of announcement or anything, but apparently you can now get turtle once again at the Cayman Turtle Center. And reading the story, it looks like maybe part of the problem, and they couldn't get Simon couldn't get an answer from the Turtle Center, but they did suspend providing turtle meat, trying to get things back on track, and getting their stock in back to where it needs to be. But you got to have turtle meat, right? At least once in a while. And another interesting story, actually kind of amazing, about when people have their land acquired by the government to build roads. This is actually astounding that people have their land acquired by the government for the public good, and then it takes like forever to get paid for it. And another interesting thing was about how the valuation is made on the property that is being acquired, because the valuation is from the date of when the road is gazetted. Okay? They issue this in a gazette, so that is the date from which the valuation is going to be set. In the meantime, it takes quite a while before things actually get in motion. This could be years before the property is actually acquired. The true value, the true market value has increased. But what you will get from the government is what it was a couple of years ago when it was gazetted. And time goes on again, and the value keeps to increase. And when the land is actually acquired, it could take people, according to this report, decade or decades before everything is settled and people are paid for it. You know something's drastically wrong there. I mean, how can government acquire the land, to build roads and such, and then people don't get their money for 10 years? No. Apparently, it's in the works now to try and rectify this. But how we could operate like that is beyond me. We do have a caller on the line. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Captain Challo.
Yes. How you doing there?
What's going on? What's going on with you, man? Tell me something.
Oh, man, I'm trying to watch World Cup at night, but, I always fall asleep.
Come on.
It's not because of the game. It's because I'm tired.
Oh, my goodness. This comes once every 4 years, man.
I know.
I'm certainly enjoying it, man, And seeing England being successful in the last match, that was...
Yeah, they're into the round of 16 now, going up against Mexico.
Yeah. Hopefully they will be successful too, because you gotta think positive.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so things are looking good. I don't know what happened between that was France and today. I left before it even finished. I think France had one, and the other ones was let's say, I don't know if it was Belgium or who it was, but it's pretty tight game. Yeah. So, them old people say, well, tell me something.
Yeah.
You're talking about the land, right?
Yeah.
It's amazing to think that some other individual are going to price your land, and you're going to give them what they say it's worth. Your land that you can only sell one time, and then that's it. For what? For a few meager dollars. That's how I see it, because what's all this hullabaloo? Well, in a hurry to sell your little property, and then you don't have no land, you don't have no place to stay, your money finished, and what happens then? And again, the government should be more conscious of what's going on, especially with people who selling their land, their birthright. And then what happened a little while? They come into government for the government to rent a place or something. What's all of this hurry to destroy this best place in the world? To make it a concrete jungle, everything is going to be concrete. At the way it's going, or the rate, we will have in another 5 years concrete trees, concrete animals. I mean, it's so disgusting to see what's happening, man. And where we look for somebody that can say, well, we're gonna break even. This is what you can do. This is what you can't do. You got so much land, you can only develop so much, and leave the rest like open space or natural environment. I mean, it is getting so unbearable hot. That is something to think about. So I just don't know what is in the mind of people that can really, the authorities, put it that way, that I would expect better out of them than what's happening.
Well, I'll tell you, I was told by someone who, in their profession, they have to keep their ear to the ground as to development in Cayman, right? And what to expect 10, 15 years down the line so that they can do their job effectively. And he was telling me that the movers and the shakers, the money people that are buying up a lot of land in Cayman, out east, and big tracts of land being bought up, they have a vision of Cayman being the Hong Kong of the Caribbean. Have you seen pictures of Hong Kong?
Oh yeah. I haven't been to Hong Kong, but
But you know what it looks like.
Yeah, and I've been to places like Singapore and Japan and you name it. As the merchant marine, I've seen a lot of countries, including where the poorer people live. Okay, and it is nothing to write home about. So if that's the vision that they have got, do they have a vision what will happen to the less fortunate people, what they're going to do? Are they going to be included in this Hong Kong scenario that is talked about? I would have expected our authorities would look deep into this and say, this has to be secured for people that cannot afford something, regardless of what they want to do about land, and nobody can tell you what to do with it. That is not good. Because my land, my little place, they can tell me what to do with my land, but the man, because he's got billions of dollars, you can't tell him. That's not right. Not right. We need to take a look into this whole thing you're talking about with all respect to what you're saying, but it's not fair. I mean, we got people now in this country from other countries surviving off rice and a little bit of rice and maybe a little sardines or something. That's what they're eating in order to send money home. And I understand that too, because they're trying to send something home. These people that has millions of dollars, billions, are taking so much advantage of the less fortunate people, not just Caymanians, foreign people as well. And some of these people are so scared that they got to go back home because the situation back home is so unfortunate for them.
Yeah.
They don't want to go back home right now. So it's a big thing that should be discussed publicly, in an open discussion, that people have a say of what they plan to do with this island, because as it is now, Charlo, I'm sorry, it's not a pretty situation here. But again, hopefully, I pray that nobody tries to offer me any price for my little piece of property. It's not for sale, full stop.
So no price could change your mind?
No prices. It is a sacred piece of property. When I'm gone, I have family will inherit it, hopefully. But you keep your money and I keep my property. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing okay. I'm not rich, but I'm okay. I do my little back garden farming and so on. And like I said, watch the chickens and the birds and the cats and the dogs. And to me, that's life, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I know I kept you too long, so have a pleasant afternoon. We talk soon again, all right?
All right. You have a good afternoon.
Thank you.
Yeah. Property being sold left, right, and center here, but and some of the people that are buying it are, they're sort of, I've heard the term land banking. They're just buying and holding, or they're buying it because they think it's a better place to put their money than in the bank, especially if it's overseas money. They don't have to account for that land every year like how they would if they had a few $1 million tucked away in a bank someplace. We do have another caller here, so let's go to the phones. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Sure. I heard something recently. I don't know if it's true or not, but if it is, it really struck my nerves. I heard that one of the governments that we have here, it's a hotel now that it seems like it must be at least 10 years now that they were supposed to be building this hotel, and as far as I understand, it still isn't built. I don't know if it reached the first or second floor yet. Anyway, I heard that they asked the government for $25 million, and the government gave them $25 million to help them build this hotel. Now, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. These big shots come here. They want to buy up land. They want to build hotels, condos, apartments, you name it. Well, okay, when they come, they need to know they have the money to pay the duties and the freight like us Caymanians have to do on everything when we build a house or anything else. They've been getting waivers of fees and waivers of concessions for too many years when they did not need it. They should not have had it. This Cayman Islands was not in no recession to have to give people waivers of fees or concessions for people to come in here and do business because the business is overgrown, everybody. And plus, not only that, I also heard that where this hotel is being built or supposed to be built, it's right up against somebody's house boundary. And apparently they reported it. I'm not sure if they reported it to
Well, where's this located?
I'm not saying. You try to figure it out. In somewhere in Beach Bay.
Okay, I thought it might be
It's
location.
by somebody's house, right up against somebody's boundary where their home is. To build a 10-story hotel. That 10-story hotel is not even supposed to be on that property, as far as I heard. This is my opinion. Why we have not done anything to get the planning law in place and in proper order, so that when these rich people, rich or not rich, because they're pretending they got something, they're going to do this for the country, they're doing it for themselves. That's what they're doing it for, not doing it for us.
Let me clarify something. When you say the government gave them, what was it, $25 million? Is that in
That's what I heard.
In concession? Is that in concessions or in cash?
No, they didn't say it. It must have been cash or put in the bank from whatever. They didn't say anything about waivers or fees or concession.
Yeah, I have not heard anything about that.
I wondered if it was because everybody was criticizing the government so much for giving these waivers of fees and concessions to people who they should not be giving it to. You think they could give me any waivers of fees or concessions for anything that I would bring in to build a house or anything else? No. I'm a Cayman and not give it to me. But they'll give it to these foreigners that step off the flight. So I wondered myself if it was because people had criticized them so much about the waivers of fees and concessions that was not necessary, that they should not have been given, whether they refused them, and then in turn they decided to ask if they would give them $25 million to help build this hotel. And I heard that they're asking this government now too for some money, and I don't know.
What was a previous government that they asked for the $25 million?
Yes, the previous government from several years ago is what I was told.
Oh. Well, it's funny that if that happened, that hasn't come up somewhere.
Well,
in
that's
Parliament,
that's how I heard it.
Public Accounts Committee,
Well, a lot of things get hit under the carpet.
Yeah, but nothing from the Auditor General. This is the first that I've heard anything about this.
Well, that was the first I heard it too, so that's why I decided to put it on the radio to see if anybody else knows anything about it, or if they will try to investigate it and bring out the truth about it. That's what I want.
All right. Well, thank you for the call.
Yeah. Okay. Can you please investigate it? and report back.
Well,
thank you.
As I told someone, I'm not an investigative reporter.
I'll make you one today. I'll give you a promotion.
Although Clydes from West Bay says, I look like a detective, but I'm not a detective.
Okay, thank you.
Take care.
Good afternoon. Bye.
Do we need to take a break? Or is this Yeah, let's take a break. Be right back.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Freedom, Cayman Brack. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Are you looking for more weekend getaways with Friday flights? Well, Cayman Airways has added Friday flights to Panama for a limited time this summer. They're perfect for short and long weekend getaways, quick business trips, or easy connections across Latin America. And if Jamaica is on your summer wish list, seasonal summer flights to Montego Bay are also available. Call Cayman Airways on 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com. See you on board our Friday flights to Panama this summer.
For 50 years, Radio Cayman has been the heartbeat of our islands, informing, connecting, and giving Cayman a voice. From breaking news to community stories, the journey continues. Radio Cayman, 50 years of excellence and still going strong.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. We got about 4 minutes left in the show. If you want to give me a quick call and have the last word for this Thursday afternoon here. I was talking about when they take your land to build roads and how long people have been waiting. And that was part of, what the increase in the budget was. According to the story here, government votes $5 million to clear claims backlog. So they were saying that they were trying to clean up some of these lingering claims that the government needed to pay for acquiring people's lands to build roads, and can you imagine waiting for payment for land that's been used for roads 10 years and more? I mean, I don't know how we could operate like that. The roads are for the greater good and everything, but if you need to acquire land, it should be fair to the landowner, and that was a motion that was moved by the leader of the opposition, the Honorable Joy Hugh, about, as this puts it, fair payment in a reasonable time. And people simply, you should not have to wait that long for payment. I mean, that is totally ridiculous. And hopefully that's going to be, straightened out, and we do this in a more a fair way. We're also talking here about the overdevelopment. Do we dare put a block in the way of development? You know, every time that has ever come up before, people say, well, what happens if there's a slowdown? How do you get it started again? Or that blocking development with certain regulations or laws, you know, you're going to destroy the economy because you put brakes on. How do you get it started again? Oh, we got a late caller. Well, let's see if we can get that person in here. Not much time left. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Charles. I want to hear how quick I can read.
Real quick. Do it.
Really quick. Healing out loud because I nearly died in silence. One foot in a fairy tale and the other in an abyss. The ghouls are laughing at you, and you are not a burden for needing care. So that's one thing I wanted to read, and I think it's good for the government to hear, because that's what people feel like, a burden when they need help.
Yeah. And not getting it, you're saying?
yeah,
not getting it.
Yeah. Just a little thing I wanted to read out. I won't need
a closing thought for the day.
Well, my closing thought for the day is be happy with what you got, be thankful.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
You have a good afternoon.
All right.
It is 2:30, and that means my time is up. Got to be going. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you to all the callers who called in, made it an interesting show. I'm Charles Glidden. One love.
Talk Today is brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history. Explore your land. Explore your sister islands. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital. Always there for you. Call 949-6066.